And he laughed and he said, "You are ready." You ask me, what is your purpose? And I will tell you. Your purpose is to help others on how to discover their purpose. And I said, how? When I don't even know my purpose. Hi there. In this video, I'm going to show you and share with you positivity, power of positivity. What is power of positivity? Before I proceed further, let me tell you how it started. On that day, sitting at the corner of my apartment on the floor, thinking and meditating, when nothing seemed to be working for me, I was down to zero, nothing. I can say I'm nobody. And I said, God, what is my purpose? And I heard a voice, loud. And he said, you are ready. You ask me, what's your purpose? And I'll tell you, your purpose is to help others on how to discover their purpose. And I said, how? When I don't even know what my own purpose is. And he said, I'll show it to you. And he asked me, the first thing you are going to get, you need to get my principle. And I said, your principle? And he said, yes. First thing you're going to get is Bible. He said, you need to get Bible. You need to get Bible. And I said, this Bible depicts my principle. Actually, people use it as a cover for religion, but it's my principle. It depicts on how I work with the Israelite, the Hebrew, the tribe of Judah. This is what it depicts, how I've given them my principle, how I get close to them, everything I taught them. My principle, you need to get it because it's going to serve as a guide for you by the time I will be showing you your purpose in life. First thing he gave me, as I've said, he gave me Bible. Bible. Now, he said, another principle you are going to get is Quran. I said, Quran? But I was born into the Christian family. And he said, Quran and Bible, they are my principle. I didn't create religion. I create human. I'm not for anybody, but I'm for everybody. I am the one that creates everything. Everything in this world, I created it. So I'm for everybody. And each region, every region, I give them my principle on how they can work with me, on how they can get close to me. And the third principle he asked me to get, this book belonged to my own ancestor, Ifa. And I said, but this book, the way, what I've heard about this book is evil. I said, that is not evil there. Because this is how I work with your own ancestor, my own ancestor. I use Ifa as my principle to work with your ancestor. That is why I said I did not create religion. I did not even establish it. What I create is human and everything in the world. And this book will serve as guideline. These books will serve as guideline to everything that you are going to do and that you are going to know on how to discover your purpose. And he said, now ask me, if you discover your purpose, what do you intend to do with it? And I said, I want to create wealth with my purpose. I want to create wealth. I want to be wealthy. And I said, is that what you want? I am going to change your name. As from today, your name is King Wealth. And I said, King Wealth? Wow, I kind of like that. All right, I'm ready. So if you are ready, I'm ready as well. And he said, the first thing I am going to show you is power positivity. He said, with power positivity, there is nothing you cannot achieve in this world. There is nothing you put your mind at or you set your mind in that you can achieve with power positivity. Power positivity, if success is what you desire, when you have power positivity and you know how to harness it, harness power positivity, you'll get success. If it is wealth you desire, when you have power positivity and all other things that I'm going to show you, you are going to get it. If it is money, riches that you want, you are going to get it when you have power positivity. And he said, now let me start showing you the power positivity. And I'm going to use Bible as a guide for you, so you understand better what power positivity is. Now let's dive into power positivity. As I've said, whatever you want to achieve in life, you need to have power positivity. By the time we start going through power positivity, you'll understand better what I mean. You understand me? But I will employ in this video, don't skip this video for any reason. Try to watch from beginning to end so you can understand in full what power positivity is. Now, for power positivity, this is how we're going to do it. First of all, I'll tell you the power is power positivity. Just let me put a P plus here because of the space. Now, secondly, the Bible reference. I'm going to use Bible in this video as our guide. Bible reference. Then the third, the character that play this power. Character. So we're going to have power, positivity, Bible reference, and character. Now let's start. The first power positivity we're going to talk about is courage. First power positivity is courage. Courage is first one. And the Bible reference I'm going to use, the Bible reference is Exodus chapter 5. Exodus chapter 5 verse 1. And the character that we're going to use here is Moses. Moses. Book of Exodus chapter 5 verse 1. Let's see what we have in there. The book of Exodus chapter 5 verse 1. Let me read it out. Afterward, Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, "Thus say the Lord God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold and feast to me in the wilderness." As we all know, during the time of Moses, when Israel was in Egypt as a slave, we all know that Egyptian was a war power then. And for a single person to go in and challenge the war power, the number one man, which is Pharaoh, that person was full with a lot of courage. When God wanted to call Moses and send him to go and deliver the Israelites from Egypt, set them free. The power I gave to Moses, the first power I gave to Moses is courage. Anything you want to do in life, business, education, whatever, first thing the first power you need is courage. That is the first power. Whatever you want to do in this life, if you don't have courage to start it, it will be very, very difficult to do it. If you don't have courage to start that thing, you must first get courage. You must be courageous to start whatever you want to do. Like anything you tag as success, as a goal in your life, you need courage. First thing you need, first power you need is courage. It's when you have that courage, then you can now start that thing. It's when you have courage, you cannot develop, you cannot go on. First thing, for you to open up, you want to start a business, whatever business you want to start, you need to have courage. Courage has a very big role to play when it comes to power of positivity, or when you want to do something in life. It has a very big role to play. Another Bible reference that I'm going to use is Book of Mark. Let me open the Book of Mark, chapter 3. Book of Mark, chapter 3, Book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27. Look at it. No one can enter a strong man's house and plunder his goods unless he first binds the strong man, and then he will plunder his house. Before you can do anything, before you can set yourself free, maybe from financial calamity or poverty, anything that is holding you down, you need courage first. Before you can challenge authority that is putting you down, you need courage to do that. It is only when you have the courage, when you are courageous enough, that is when you can challenge those or anything that is putting you down, that is preventing you from achieving your goal in life. Courage is the first thing you need. After courage, the second power of positivity you need is decision. It's decision. And the Bible reference we are going to use here is Book of Ruth. Book of Ruth. Book of Ruth, chapter 1. Then verse 14 to 18. Explained better. And the character is Ruth itself. And the character is Ruth itself. You must be able to take decision. You must be decisive. Let's go into the Book of Ruth. Book of Ruth, chapter 1. I'm going to read from verse 14 to 18. I have to do this so this will help us to understand better when I'm talking about decision. Then they lifted up their voices and wept again. And Oprah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clung to her. And she said, "Look, your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and to her gods. Return after your sister-in-law." But Ruth said, "Entreat me not to leave you or to turn back from following after you. For wherever you go, I will go, and wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I die. And there I will be buried. And the Lord do so to me, and more also, if anything but death part you and me. When she saw that she was determined to go with her, she stopped speaking to her. That was Naomi trying to stop Ruth from following her. When you read that Bible, very well, Naomi stopped Ruth from following her because she has lost her 2 sons. And Oprah, Ruth, happened to be the daughter-in-law. But she was about to leave where she was staying to relocate and go back to her people. But Ruth has decided that wherever she is going, she will go as well. That is decision. She take a decision and nothing is going to change it. So decision have a very big role to play when you want to achieve success. That's a very big role to play. And you should know when to take decision. And what are the requirements that one can look out for when you want to take decision? Number 1, requirement you have to look out for when you want to take decision. Number 1 is to look for the facts. Look for facts. Look for facts. One, look for facts. Look for facts. Is this thing real or not? You have to look for facts. 2, when you get the fact, weigh them up. You have to weigh it. You have to weigh them up. You weigh, you measure it. Which one is better? Try to look which one is better. Number 3, when we talk about decision making, you ask for advice. You need to ask for advice. Ask for advice. You need to ask for advice. Number 4, you have to listen to your intuition. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your intuition. Because your intuition has a very big role to play as well when you're taking decision. Your intuition. That is 4. Then number 5. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. No matter what, you must be ready to stand your ground. Whatever come out of it, you have to stand your ground. When you are taking decision, you have to stand your ground. Number 6, you have to be responsible for outcome. Responsible for outcome. Outcome. You have to take responsibility for outcome. Whenever you are taking decision. And number seven, 7 is then do the best. Then do the best. Do the better. Let's put it this way. Do the better. Do the better. Then do the better. If it's between, sorry for that. If you are weighing between two facts, do the better. And if it is more than two, do the best. These are the 7 things that you have to take into consideration when you are taking a decision. Look for facts. Weigh them up. Ask for advice. Listen to your intuition. Stand your ground. Take a responsibility for outcome. Be responsible for outcome. Ready. You have to be ready to be responsible for whatever the outcome is. Then do the best. When you weigh the fact, whatever you decide, whatever you see that it is the best, do it. When you are taking decision. So that's about decision, which is the second power of positivity. It's not a lot of things to do when we are talking about achieving success. Then, third one. The third one is immediate action. Immediate action. And the Bible reference we are going to use is 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel. First Samuel 17. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 4. Verse 4. We are going to read verse 4. We are going to read verse 23. 23. We are going to read 25 to 27. 25 to 27. 25 to 27. Then we'll now read 40. But everything I'm going to point out here, we are going to use the book of Samuel as a Bible reference and as a guide to explain immediate action. And the character in question is David. I'm going to use David as the character in question here. The book of 1 Samuel. Let me open to the book of 1 Samuel. First Samuel chapter 17. I'll first read verse 4. And it said, and a champion went out from the camp of the Philistine named Goliath from Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. They have already given us the quality of the challenge. That require an action to remove. Now let's go to give us the quality of what you are going to meet. Then let's go to verse 23. Then, as he talked with them, there was a champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, coming up from the armies of Philistine, and he spoke according to the same words. So David heard them. 24. And all the men of Israel when they saw the man, fled from him, and were dreadful afraid. So the men of Israel said, have you seen this man who has come up? Surely he has come up to defy Israel. And it shall be that the man who kills him, the king will enrich with great riches. We give him his daughter and give his father house exemption from taxes in Israel. Then David spoke to the men who stood by him, saying, what shall be done for the man who kills this Philistine and takes away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? And the people answered him in this manner, say, so shall it be done for the man who kills him. So shall it be done for the man who kills him. That is 27. I just read 27. So shall it be done for the man who kills him. And I would not like to waste much of our time. We all know this story. What did David do? David sprang to action immediately. He has taken his decision. He has asked for the reward. We all know the reward. Your reward sometimes might be a success. Maybe you want to come out in a flying color after your education. Sometimes your reward might be profit. Sometimes your reward might be other goals. Maybe you want promotion where you are working. With courage, once you have courage, you have decided, immediately you take an action. You know what you want to do already. Immediately you spring into an action to face or to start what you're supposed to be doing. You don't have to procrastinate. Because the opposite of immediate action is procrastinate. Some people, they've already decided what they want to do. They'll not be thinking, I'll do it tomorrow. Let me put it to next week. Oh no. Giving flimsy excuses. Maybe by next month, or because I don't have this, I don't have that. Power of positivity doesn't have anything to do with all those things. If you want to follow power of positivity to get to success, once you are taking your decision, immediate action. You don't have to wait. Take your action immediately. And that was what David did. Take action immediately. I can do it. Total. And they put on an armor. I don't need all these things. I've come across lion. I kill lion. I kill bear. I kill all those wild animals that are trying to attack the flock in our farm. So this Philistine is like a dog to me. Even in Bible, the Philistine confirmed me that, are you bringing a stick and Robert to me? Did that look like a dog to you? I'm a warrior. But because David had decided to go and hand the Philistine, he had decided to go and hand the Philistine with immediate effect. So he sprang into an action with immediate effect. And with one blow, he removed the obstacle. Because when you want to achieve goal in life or success in life, obstacle will present itself. And it can present itself in various forms that you won't even expect. First thing, you get your courage, gather up courage, followed by taking your decision. After you have made sure you have satisfied this, then you spring into immediate action. Now, after immediate action, the next power of positivity that we are going to talk about, is persistence. Persistence. is persistence. And the Bible reference I am going to use is Book of Genesis. The Book of Genesis is what I'm going to use. Persistence. And I'm going to use Book of Genesis chapter 26. Book of Genesis chapter 26. And I will read from verse 18 to 22. Verse 18 to 22. And the character is Isaac. The character here is Isaac. Let me open to the book of Genesis, chapter 26. The book of Genesis, chapter 26. And I'm going to read from verse 18. Verse 18 to 22. And Isaac dug again the wells of water, which they have dug in the days of Abraham, his father. For the Philistine had stopped them up after the death of Abraham. He called them by the names which his father had called them. Also Isaac, that is 19, also Isaac's servant dug in the valley and found a well of running water there. 20. But the herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac, herdsmen, saying, the water is ours. So he called the name of the well Ezek, because they quarreled with him. Then they dug another well, and they quarreled over that one also. So he called it name Sitnah. 22. And he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. So he called its name Rehoboth, because he said, for now the Lord has made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. What I'm trying to say in an instance is that persistence have a lot of very good role to play when you want to achieve success in life, whatever you tag as success. Sometimes you might try something in the morning, it will not work. That doesn't mean you should quit. That thing might not be able to work in the morning, and it might be at night that such thing will work. Might not work in the morning, but you might eventually get it at night. Sometimes you might try to get something maybe during the dry season, and eventually that thing it is only achievable during the rainy season. Sometimes these are the things that will determine how things work. Number one, trying to get things done, sometimes it requires situation or circumstance. Trying to get things sometimes can require situation or circumstance before you get it done. First thing is, number one, I want you to take into consideration here when you're trying to get things done, or you're trying to achieve success, goals, whatever. You want to make money, you want to be rich, you want to be wealthy. Number one thing you need to do when we talk about persistence is changing of tactics. Change tactics. Change tactics. Sometimes maybe the approach you are given to achieve that thing might not be the right approach. The approach you are given to achieve something sometimes might not be the right approach. So you need to change tactics. It doesn't mean if you change tactics up to 1,000 times or 10,000 times. Thomas Edison before he could light up bulb. It take him 10,001 time before he could light up bulb. Thomas Edison, that we know as the greatest scientist today, inventor. It take him, for him to light up bulb, it take him 10,001 time. Thomas Edison. When they give you this approach, it doesn't work, change the approach. Until you try it 10,001 times. It was the 1,000 that was the addition to 10,000 that he got what he wanted. So you change approach sometime. Another thing is strategy. Change strategy. Strategies. Which strategy are you deploying when you want to do something? Which strategy are you putting in place? If you try one strategy, it doesn't work, then you try another one. That strategy, the first strategy you try, does not mean that strategy is bad, because when you try that strategy, you will get a result, but it might not be your desired result. And that is another additional knowledge for you. So maybe a time will come when you need the result of what you have gotten from the first strategy, and you don't need to search any further because you already know what to do. But you have not gotten your own desired result. Then you change strategy to do that. Number 3, sometimes you need to change location. You need to change location. Sometimes look, the location of where you find yourself might be preventing you from getting what you want in life. All this is under persistencies. You don't have to quit. Some people, because they try something 1 time, 2 times, and they quit, believe that thing is not achievable. No. Once it is thinkable, it is achievable. Anything that comes to your mind, believe me, it is achievable. It's now left to you to focus. And part of where you can focus is persistency. It's not left to you to focus. Once it is thinkable, it is achievable. You get it. You get your desired result. But sometimes your location might be the barrier for you to get the result you are looking for. Your location might be the barrier for you to get the result you are looking for. So that is why you need to change location. And if you look on the book of Genesis, that 26:18, when we're talking about Isaac dug a well in one particular place. He did not allow him to stay there. Maybe he has not gotten to the location he wanted. He moved further, get another location. He dug the well. He got it to water, but he did not allow him to use the water. And now he changed location again until he get to where he was allowed. Do you understand? Which means that is where he can operate. And he named the place Rehoboth. This is where we are allowed to operate. Do you understand me? So location is one of the things that you need to put in consideration. Do you understand me? When we are talking about persistency. Then time. Change time. Change time. Sometimes there are some things that you might have set yourself up in the morning, but you find out that you couldn't achieve that in the morning, and you are able to see the result in the afternoon. So that already gives you a clue that this thing can only work in the afternoon, not in the morning. Timing. When you are try to get things, it's under persistency. Timing. You need to time yourself when you are doing things. Or there's something that it is only at night you can get it, can get your desired result. You try it in the morning, it will not work. You try it in the afternoon, it will not work. You try it at night and it will work. Or sometimes it might be in the midnight. It might be in the midnight that you get your desired result. So that doesn't mean because you try it in the morning and you don't have the result and you have to quit. No. If you try in the morning, it doesn't work, I don't think give it a try in the afternoon. If it doesn't work, you still have to be persistent. Let's try it at night, and you might even get your result. Are you with me? That is time. Then another thing is what? Weather. Weather sometimes determines. Something will work during the rainy season, and it will not work during the dry season. There are some things that you can achieve during summer. Why some? You can only achieve them during winter. When we talk about the weather. Are you with me? When we talk about weather, that you can only achieve them during the that determining factor for success is being determined by weather. So if you try it maybe during the summer, it doesn't work. Why don't you wait for winter and give it a try again? Or you try it during the rainy season and it doesn't work. Why don't you give it for leave it till raining, leave it to dry season? Maybe you'll get the result. Another thing I'm going to talk about is the climate. As we know, the climate, we have the temperate region and we have the tropical region. We have the temperate region. There are some things you try in the temperate region, you will not get the result. You will not be successful. But when you try them in the tropical region, you will get your desired result. So that is a click for you that, okay, this thing doesn't work. You will never get what you want in the temperate region. It's only in the tropical region you will get what you want. So if you try it in the temperate region and you couldn't get the result, that doesn't mean that thing will not work. I've told you that if it is thinkable, it is achievable. You just need to try to deploy different strategies and approach for you to know which one will work for you. And at the end of the day, you get result of what you want. Another thing that can determine persistence is economy. There's some business that we do in a particular economy, you run at loss. In fact, it is a total failure. And there's a business you run in another economy, in fact, you get the desired result you want. Your success is assured. So you need to study it. So if you try it in one particular region, it doesn't work. You can try another region. That doesn't mean that thing is not achievable. You can try another region for that. So economy also determines success on time. Then political climate or political. There are some politics practice in some region that will favor you, help you to become successful. Favor a particular thing that you want to do, and in a particular region, it doesn't work. Political factors of time is one of the things that you need to take into consideration. And when we talk about persistency, if the political factor of a particular place does not help your business, why don't you try another political factor of another place? Maybe to give you what you want. Then, let me give it, the last one is change environment. Environment. There's some environment that is not good for business. Sometimes it may be the culture of that environment. It might be the policy of that environment that is not good for your business. All these things you need to put in mind. And persistency, they all work under persistence. You still need to give it a try. But you change your tactics, you change your strategy, you change location, you change time, weather, climate, economy, political factor, and environment. Sometimes, by the time you try one environment to another that environment, you get your desired result. But you need to keep persistence. You need to keep persistent. Then the next power positivity I'm going to talk about is patience. Next power positivity I'm going to talk about is patience. 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 And the Bible verse I'm going to use as reference is Judges. The book of Judges as a Bible reference. Then chapter 11, verse 1 to 6. Chapter 11, verse 1 to 6. And the character I'm going to use is Jephthah. The character I'm going to use is Jephthah. The character I'm going to use is Jephthah. Let me read through so we can understand better what I'm trying to share here. The book of Judges. The book of Judges, chapter 11. Let me read 1 to 6. Now, Jephthah, the Gileadite, was a mighty man of valor, but he was the son of a harlot. A Gilead begot Jephthah. Gilead's wives bore sons, and when his wife's son grew up, they drove Jephthah out and said to him, "You shall have no inheritance in our father's house, for you are the son of another woman." Then Jephthah fled from his brothers and dwelt in the land of Job, and worthless men banded together with Jephthah and went out raiding with him. It came to pass after a time that the people of Ammon made a war against Israel. And so it was, when the people of Ammon made a war against Israel, that the elders of Gilead went to Jephthah for the land of Tob. Then they said to Jephthah, "Come and be our commander, that we may fight against the people of Ammon." Another power of positivity I'm going to talk about here is patience. Patience have a very big role to play when we talk in terms of power of positivity. Very big role to play when we talk in terms of power of positivity. There are some time, it's not everything that we use force to get some time. There are some time you need to be observant. Maybe there's something you want to achieve. Sometimes what will help you to get that thing might not be available at that time. What you need to do is what? You have to be patient. When the Jephthah brother, they drove him out of their father's house, he didn't drag anything with them. He left. While he left, he did not remain idle. He was still doing some things. And they were feeding his brother how strong Jephthah is right now. Going from one place, raiding, acquiring wealth. But that was not his goal. His goal was to be with his brother, to be recognized as the son, a son in that family. And after some time, when his family have problem, they discover that the only person that can solve the problem is Jephthah. There are some times that you need to be exercise patient, but that doesn't mean you should sit down and be watching. That doesn't mean you should sit down and be watching. You need to exercise patience sometimes for you to be able to achieve some things, for you to be able to achieve your goal. It might take time, but the goal will come at the perfect time. I did not ask you to go and stay idle, but you can try to give it a break for some time and develop yourself. You might leave that arena, move to another arena, start develop yourself. Maybe mentally, physically, mentally, physically, spiritually sometimes, even metaphysically. Just refrain yourself for some time. By the time they find out that you have become an asset and you are going to be useful, they will look for you. Or there is something you have developed and people have despised it. A time will come in. Maybe you have a product you have developed and you're not making sense. Sometimes, all of this factor might make that product become sellable. That people will be demanding. You have a very high demand. At the end of the day, something you thought that people have neglected it might be what people will need at that time. Okay, let's see an example now. Nobody put on sweater or cardigan during the dry season when the weather is hot. No, nobody needed it at that time. So people abandoned it. The sales will go down. But when it comes to winter or raining season, people will need it. They will come back, they will call for it. So that is why one of the power of positivity sometimes that you need is patience. There's various ways where you can apply patience when you are trying to get success in something. Another power of positivity I'm going to talk about now, we have two left, is perseverance. Perseverance, well, as I've said, and the character and the Bible reference I'm going to use here is the book of Genesis as well. Go to Genesis chapter 31, verse 38 to 42. 38 to 42. And the character I'm going to use here is Jacob, later renamed as Israel. Perseverance. Let's first go through that Bible verse first. This is Genesis chapter 31. Let me open to book of Genesis chapter 31. Then we are going to read through verse 38 to 42. And the character we are going to use as reference, I have said, is Jacob, later renamed as Israel. 38. I'm going to read from 38 to 42. These 20 years I have been with you. Your hills and your female goats have not miscarried their young, and I have not eaten the rams of your flock. That which was torn by beasts I did not bring to you. I bore the loss of it. You require it from my hand, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. There I was in the day. The drought consumed me, and the frost of night, and my sleep departed from me, from my eyes. Thus I have been in your house 20 years. I have served you 14 years for your 2 daughters, and 6 years for your flock. And you have changed my wages 10 times. You have changed my wages 10 times. Unless the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely now you would have sent me away empty-handed. God has seen my affliction and labor of my hands and rebuked you last night. So, what am I trying to say in essence here? Nothing good comes easily. Nothing good comes easily. Don't think you are going to get success on a platter of gold. It doesn't work that way. Anything you tag as success will never come easily. Let me just tell you the fact, the actual fact. When we call anything you see as success, anything you see as success, no matter how small it is, it will never come easily. But with perseverance, you can achieve it. With perseverance, Israel was saying it. It took him 7 years. 7 of his hard hand make labor of his labor, 7 years of his labor to have Leah as a wife. Even if Leah was not his goal, his interest was on Rachel, not Leah. His father-in-law played prank on him. He need to work for another 7 years to get Rachel. He now need to work for another 7 years with hard labor to get what he have gotten. And they are still trying to rob him of his belongings, of what he has gotten by his in-laws. I just use that as an example. It happened like that. Sometimes if you want to get something, you will be faced with a lot of challenge. Unfavorable challenge, unfavorable condition, unfavorable situation, unfavorable location. But with perseverance, you'll get to where you are going and you achieve your success. Perseverance has a very big role to play when we are talking about you having success or achieving your goal. You want to create wealth, you need to persevere. You want to be rich, you need to persevere. You want to make money, you need to persevere. Nothing good comes easily. You have to pay price. You have to endure pain. You have to absorb pain. You have to take pain. You have to embrace pain. You have to embrace pain in so many things you are doing until you get to where you're going. With perseverance, you can do that and you can get that. And the last, but not the least, power of positivity we are going to talk about is love. The power of positivity I'm going to talk about, the last one is love. And the Bible reference is Book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. Book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. And the character I'm going to talk about is God Himself. God. And the book said, "For God so loved the world, and He gave His only Son to the world." Let's read it out and see what we have there. No, most of you that are very acquainted with the Bible know that verse offhand. Book of John. I'm opening to the Book of John. Book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whoever believes in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life." I'm not talking about His Son here, but I'm talking about what God has created. I'm talking about what God has created. I'm talking about what God has created. I misplaced the character. What God has created. "For God so loved the world, gave His only begotten Son." What are we talking about? The love comes for what? For the word. God loved the world because the work of God is the word. It's His hand's work. Anything you are doing, you must love what you are doing if you want to be successful. If you don't love what you are doing or what you want to achieve, if you are intending to achieve a particular goal, you must put your love in it, pour your soul in it. You must love it, whatever it takes. I did not ask you to go through ungodly way to achieve it. You understand me? When I say whatever it takes, some people say whatever it takes that they are going to achieve something. I did not ask you to go through ungodly way or what God did not, what God will not be pleased with to achieve it. But try to love whatever you are doing. You understand me? It's only when you love it, you cherish it, and that is when you will still be able to continue to work on how you can get it. That is it. Whatever you are doing, you have to love what you are doing because God Himself loved this world. So whatever you want to do, you want to put in place, whatever you want to achieve, projects, anything at all, you have to love it. You have to put your love in it. When you put your love in it, your body and soul will also be in it, and you see to completion. So, what I've said so far: power, positivity, and these are the power: courage, number one; decision, immediate action, persistence, patience, perseverance, and love. These are the level of power. Any other thing anybody are going to tell you will lies within this 7 power of positivity. You understand? Try and use it. Try and use it. Follow it, and you'll see me in my next video. And if you know this video was helpful to you, try to subscribe to our channel for more video, so that when we post any other video, you'll be the first person to get the notification on your timeline. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed time. Have a great time, I swear. My name is King Wealth. See you in my next video. Thank you.